Welcome everybody. I am the air quotes comedian, the most suppressed comedian in America. It's true that. I'm not the most censored comedian like Lee Camp. No, I'm the most suppressed. But I do have to add, I mostly suppress myself because self-promotion isn't my thing, which is quite the predicament for an artist, you might think. To show you what I mean, don't subscribe to the channel, don't like the video or share this content please, because we should mess with the metrics. Self-sabotage, you see, because I can't be asked beyond actually creating the shit. Promote it, sounds like work, and this is the Polemics. Welcome. Of course, I can be asked to talk about today's sponsor, me. I'm the sponsor, or more specifically, the thoughts me had regarding violence. I was going to do a whole bit where I substituted the word violence with the word violets, a group of violet-coloured flowers you might find in a garden, which is achingly unoriginal, even if I would try to rationalise doing it by stating it's a commentary on the use of social media-approved substitute words such as sewer slide. It would somehow have ended up with Gardener's World being the punchline, and I thought, banal doesn't even begin to describe the mediocrity of me banging on about violets and then connecting that to Gardener's World. What the fuck is wrong with me? Before that, I was going to do a whole bit where I talk about violence, but over the course of it, it becomes clearer and clearer that I'm not talking about violence the concept, but violence with a capital V, a Bay Area heavy metal thrash band from the Bay Area era, a conceit which is positively throbbing with its derivative nature, even if I tried to justify doing it by saying it's a statement on blah blah Gardener's World, and I thought, I wish for the days when I could even reach the mundane, because this isn't even that. Most people have probably never even heard of Violence, or the band. And I was going to connect that up to Gardener's World, and I just wonder, what the fuck is wrong with me? I realised what's wrong with me is that I should have been saying Gardener's Weekly instead of Gardener's World. So obvious, huh? Imagine being the sort of person who hears that a hateful Nazi just got shot to death publicly in their neck and who not only doesn't have a warmth of feeling in their belly about it, but doesn't want you to either. People wringing their hands because they can't reconcile what they feel with their expressed beliefs. I lack inhibition in my celebration of the oppressor's suffering, even though it is incompatible with my core beliefs. Emotion and cognition, separate and unified. Reason is ad hoc as far as I'm concerned, as is anything, given the right circumstances. For instance, I don't have a problem with religiosity, which I consider a personal matter between an individual and their God. I don't even care when the like-minded seek community within temple, church or mosque. No. It's when you bring that bullshit into secular life to force it on others that I want to see you crucified in public. That's the gut feeling I have, and I make no apology for it. However, in terms of actual thought and deed, there wouldn't be any crucifixion, would there? Because despite what I might feel and what I might say as a result of the passion and haste of the moment, I wouldn't actually inflict any suffering upon them at all, no. I'd just shoot them in the skull, quick, painless, merciful. I am the good guys after all, I'm the goodies. Line those fuckers up like tin cans in the tin can alley game and let me have at it. If that can't be arranged, then perhaps some kind of dance-off or baking contest, whatever it takes to get the hate off the streets. Let's just pause for a moment and imagine that some conservative type was listening to this. One wonders what perception they might have arrived at. Do you think they would believe me a violent person, or a person generally opposed to and horrified by violence? The word "or" cleverly disguising the fact that all of those things could be true, because we're fucking complicated things, human beings, full of paradox and confusion, aren't we? Except for Alan Titchmarsh, of course. He knows what's what. My honest thoughts on the matter of Mr. Kirk being shot to death is that his worth as a human was summed up in a few throwaway jokes on the social medias after the fact, and I'm indifferent to their demise because while he was an evil cunt who promoted division, bigotry, violence and hatred, his part in the scheme of things is largely inconsequential because it is the system that produces his like that needs to be murdered in its fucking neck and not punchlines like Mr. Kirk. Oh, but he's being quite respectful calling him Mr. Kirk though, that's nice. I'm English. So am I being respectful and nice by calling him Mr. Kirk? Do you even know me? The joke I cobbled together for the social medias regarding his full-throated swan song was Charlie Kirk shot dead. One less pain in the neck, which like a million different people came up with the same joke independently. Easy joke, but why the fuck would I strain my brain for something else? Frankly, Mr. Kirk wasn't worth the effort, was he? There's this idea that his murder was the catalyst for the severe clampdown on free speech in the USA, as if that wasn't coming anyway. His death was like 9/11 in that the policy that followed the incident was already written on the stone tablets and just waiting to be wheeled out at the most opportune time. But what am I waffling on about, dear viewer? There are fools who believe the USA will vote its way out of being a xenophobic, white nationalist, vulture capitalist abomination decorated with religious tinsel and Nazi rhetoric, which is what it is now. It doesn't matter if that tangerine tosser, the pudding brain in chief, the rapist, the alleged paedophile and all-round orange, if he died right now, it wouldn't make a jot of difference. The rank and file are already jockeying for his position, death of Stalin style. It's fucking funny as fuck to watch that shit. Balancing act that, innit? Got to have your tongue up, dear leaders, prolapsed anus, a ragged sphincter that's dripping with hemorrhoids, and yet also seem like the right successor without threatening the dear leader's power. After all, he yet lives and is still the shitting president in his special diaper that he wears, the Nepo nappy, if you will. Not for long, no, and soon we'll be having a warmth of feeling in our gut when his end comes. Not soon enough, but soon. The grip of the Reaper is upon his throat, and the scythe's shadow crosses his face. The desperate pleas and agonized screams of those trapped where he's going to end up echo down the hallways of his addled mind. LOL. All well and good, but his replacement will be just as evil, if not worse, and probably a lot more competent. So yeah, there's no voting our way out of this. It was always going to be this. Sooner or later, it was inevitable. Like Gardener's World. I'm more likely to plant a garden and try to provide free food for people than I am to inflict any kind of violence upon somebody unless it's in the course of self-defense. That's Saint air quotes comedian to you. No, that's right. I've been knighted. They pushed my head under the water and everything. I'm extremely unlikely to plant any kind of garden on account of the hard work involved, but as Saint air quotes newly initiated, it stands to reason that I'm broadly against murdering or committing violence against anybody, despite what I say with steadfast conviction in every single one of my comedy routines. This little tin can, pop, clink. This little tin can, pew, clank. There's 5 tin cans in classic Tin Can Alley, just so you know. Little tin can, bang. Shit, I missed. I just lost an imaginary game of Tin Can Alley. And from the imaginary to the metaphorical, because you can shoot those tin cans down on Tin Can Alley as much as you want, but you just turn it upside down to reset it and the cans are back. The only way to really beat Tin Can Alley is with a baseball bat. Did influential yet completely unelected political figure Charlie Kirk actually deserve to die? I haven't heard a single pundit say yes. Let's fix that. Absolutely he deserved it. He was fucking gagging for it, wasn't he? What did he think sowing hatred would reap? I don't hate the oppressors because hate is a waste of my emotional resources. I am indifferent to them and simply want them stopped by any means. I mean, let's not get fucking hysterical about it. We're talking about Nazi filth here. Fucking Nazi scum. Something they chose to be. Yes, he fucking deserved it. Public-facing Nazi filth. Good fucking riddance, cunt. I'm only angry about this whole thing because it's distracting from things that really matter, like the Holocaust against Palestinians by so-called Israel. Could we at least stop the omnicides so we can all face the oncoming climate extinction event that now cannot be stopped or mitigated, so that we can face that together in love and peace? Well, that's all for. Oh, hang on. I just noticed a mistake I need to correct. Little bit of a rewrite here. Bear with me. Blah, blah, blah. Sooner or later, it was inevitable. Like Gardener's Weekly. There, it's funny now. That's all for this episode of the Polemics. Yeah, it was a proper one this time. Thanks for watching. Good night.